L'un de vos livres a été préfacé par
One of your books
Suzanne Sontag.
has a preface by Susan
Elle parle de
Sontag.
l'engagement.
She talks of the notion of commitment,
Elle dit que le photojournalisme est souvent de la
and she
photographie
says that
engagée,
very
de la
often that
photographie
this
de la
committed
conscience.
photojournalism
Elle dit que quand on voit l'ampleur, la franchise, le
is a
caractère
world
intime, inoubliable
where
et poignant de votre
you can
travail,
see this incredible simplicity,
elle dit,
this
ça fait aucun
incredible
doute, en
honesty
nous
of your
rapportant
work,
des images de l'enfer,
and that you're able to bring
McCullin
back
cherche à nous affliger,
images from hell. It's
provoquer.
quite clear that McCullin is trying to provoke us. What do you think?
I have to agree with David. I never thought any photograph I ever took in my life was ever going to change the world, because when you were committed to one war and it went away and you thought, okay, thank God it's all over, then another war would appear. Photography was a beautiful thing for me. I started out as a photographer, but once I started putting my hands into the blood of suffering and war, I became very disillusioned. I would stand in front of men who were going to be executed in front of me, who were crying, looking at me and hoping that I could stop their murder. And there were dying children in Africa who were starving. I would have come to a feeding center, and they would think, there is a white man, he's going to bring some food aid. All I brought to those children was a Nikon camera around my neck. So there was a boy one day in Biafra who was an albino boy, starving, barely able to stand on his legs. And he stared at me, and I thought, I must get away from this boy. And I went to talk to a French doctor, and suddenly this boy put his hand into my hand. And I thought it was possibly the one moment in my life when I could have cried, publicly cried. And I thought, I hope this boy goes away and leaves me alone, because I don't deserve, I didn't do this to this boy. What I'm really focusing on now is photography. We were there as photographers, but then these circumstances go beyond our commitment. They go beyond our human dignity and beyond our concerns about, why am I here? This has nothing to do with photography, I think David said earlier. You cannot imagine the shame that I have to live with, thinking about those men who cried, thinking I could stop their execution, which I could never do. And I go into my darkroom, I make these prints, and they come up in the developer, and I relive those days. I didn't invite these things to come into my photographic life. And quite frankly, thank God I still have the courage to admit to my shame. I feel ashamed of a lot of my photography. It never cured anything, or it never stopped another war.
Patrick Chauvel.